Good morning, America. We're going to have a short discussion about what may be inevitably coming to the United States. A lot of the news legacy or fake news agencies are predicting, amazingly predicting, a civil war in the United States. Well, that sounds kind of silly. That does sound silly. Why would we want to hurt the victims of the New World Order? Let me change my screenshot. What you're looking at here is a T-shirt that is available on the T-shirt channel. I do not ask for donations. I do not need your money. You don't have to join. Send me PayPal. You don't have to join my locals. I am not here for that. Although many of you recently have asked me, how can I donate to your channel? I appreciate that. I make these T-shirts not for profit. I think there's $2.50 profit. So if I sell 100 T-shirts, that would be $250 before taxes, $175 after. And I'm basically getting paid for my intellectual property. I don't want your money. I don't want your donations. You're not going to hear me telling you about my PayPal. I'm here as a patriot. I'm not a wealthy man. I do spend time worrying about bills, but again, I do not need your donations like other channels ask for. Most patriot channels depend on your income. But the problem with that is then they start getting approached by advertisers like Silver and Gold, the food in a bucket that'll last 25 years. One of my viewers got sucked into the 25-year bucket thing, and he tried making the pudding, and he couldn't even make the pudding. Pudding turned out awful. And then when he called up, they told him some crazy tricks he had to do to get the pudding to turn into frickin' pudding. I don't want to sell you stuff you don't need. I'm never going to tell you to buy gold on the internet. You want to buy silver and gold, you go to a gold shop. If you want to buy silver, the cheapest way to get it is constitutional silver. That is dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars that were minted 1964 or earlier. They're all 90%. The fact that they were minted by the U.S. government proves to the person that you're trying to barter with for food that they are, in fact, real silver coins. See, it's a built-in process. It's a built-in fail-safe. It's a dime. It's from 1964 or older, and the United States of America itself minted it, proving that it's 90% silver. Do not buy silver and gold. I'm not going to give you a code so you get a discount and save $100 when you're spending $500 more than the damn gold coin is worth. I'm not here for your money. I'm here because I'm a patriot. For those of you who don't know my background, and for my core audience who I have a camp out with every year, we all hang out together. It is the funnest, most energizing weekend of our lives. That weekend is usually the last weekend in July. So you missed it. If you're with us by next year, you're welcome to come to the camp out. We just hang out. I'm not the famous guy there. I'm just one of many people there. I am one of the family. I am the middle brother. I get people in the family that have been with me for 6-7 years. They get mad at me just like you get mad at your brother. It's like, no, I'm not the untouchable. I'm not the famous guy. I'm just one of the family at these gatherings that we have. And next summer, you guys will be welcome to come. I do not want your money. I do not want you to send anything to PayPal. But the T-shirt shop is there to plant seeds in Democratic heads. Now, we all saw what happened in England this weekend, and it's a shame. And we did see a lot of Antifa types showing up there causing trouble. which is a reason why we don't want to partake. One reason why we don't want to partake in a civil war. And I will look at the comments when I'm done talking, but as everyone that knows me knows, if I look at the comments now, we'll never get to the end of this. I'll lose track. So the Antifa types have showed up. Oh, can I get a 5x5 by anybody in the house, by any family members in the house who knows what that means? Throw me a 5x5. Let me relight my cigarette. So the civil war, supposedly, that they're calling it, that's going on in England, is clearly caused by the Antifa types that we have saw here. I have identified people that were arrested during the Summer of Blood. Some people call it the Summer of Love. I call it the Summer of Blood. 5x5. Thank you very much, Justin. I identified many of those people. I have a video on my Rumble channel. My Rumble channel is Red Step Stack, not Red Step Stacker, but Red Step Stack. I have a 45-minute video showing the man who was videographing or taking video for Antifa. Antifa turned on him, and they're trying to murder him now, actually. But he was the man who was documenting what Antifa was doing across the country during the Summer of Blood and at the J6. And I have identified many of the people that were at J6 by their mugshots as they traveled across the country, burning down the country during the 2020 Summer of Blood. And I've sent that video to every single Republican, including Jim Jordan. I don't know why it hasn't come to light yet. Maybe they're keeping it in their back pocket. I've also identified people who have fought under the Antifa banner, who have gone to the Ukraine to fight as missionaries for the Azov Battalion. Does America need a civil war? Do we want to hurt the stupid? Okay, do we want to pop a pimple and let it reappear? Or do we want to dry up the oil? That's the question. So in a civil war situation in the United States, we would just be popping a pimple that'll reappear the next day, right? That's all we're going to do. But if we dry up the oil, the pimple goes away. And in this particular situation, the oil are treasonous traitor politicians who have violated their oath to the country and the Constitution. And that would be called a revolution. When civilians hurt civilians, it's called a civil war. When civilians hurt treasonous traitor politicians, it's called a revolution. So we don't want a civil war. And if you ever hear anyone utter the word civil war on YouTube, shame them immediately, because they are stupid. Although they might be patriots, they are stupid, and they are causing more problems. They shouldn't even be allowed to speak, but I'm not going to interrupt anybody's freedom of speech. It's very important that everyone clearly understands we don't want to hurt transgendered people. Transgendered people are victims. Okay, 90% of the transparent people are autistic. Transgendered people are autistic people. That is the truth. That is an actual hallmark in becoming a transgendered person, is having those feelings of not being in your own body, which is what autism is. The core of that is not having full connection with your physical body. Of course, you're going to feel that way, or that might be your solution as an autistic person, to say, hey, maybe I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, or vice versa. So we don't want to hurt these people. Now, if these people show up our front door, we fill them full of, yeah. Then, of course, you have to protect your home and your family, and you fill them full of lead, of course, when they show up at your front door looking for you, not when you go looking for them. So a revolution is when people who have violated their oath, have sworn their allegiance to the elites that are offshore, and we all know who they are. I don't need to name them. Okay, I will. Adam Schiff, Schumer, Pelosi, especially, okay, Eric Swalwell, of course. These are people who have violated their oath. And those are ironically the same people who are calling for civil war. Why? To get the heat off of them. But it is not, in my opinion, the best idea. Now, no one's going to agree with my idea of the best way to solve this problem, and that's okay. But I'm going to say it out loud, so I'm not held responsible for a revolution. I believe the best thing to do is dissolve the union. What do you do in a bad relationship? What do you do when somebody cheats on you in a relationship? Is your politician cheating on you in this relationship? Yes. What do? You break up. So we lose a few states. Probably very few states. And what happens to those states is they eventually fall into plunder and we go buy the land up. Because Democrats don't create, they destroy. You won't find one Democratic business owner in America, because once you become a business owner in America, you don't want to give all of your money to people who don't want to work. Good morning, Paul. I am kind of peeking over there. So I want to be real clear that we don't need a civil war here. If Antifa wants to go out and burn down America, that's by their own design. If you need to protect yourself, fill them full of lead. If your government wants to take your guns, give them your bullets first. Do not register anything, in my opinion. I would not register anything like the disgusting state of Illinois, in which I used to live in. Thank God I escaped from there. I'm now a happy resident of Kentucky, Henderson, Kentucky, a great little city on the Ohio River. They're forcing people to tell the government if they own an AR style rifle. It's not an assault rifle. Every time you pull the trigger, you only get one bullet. You don't get 20 bullets for one trigger pull. That would be an assault rifle, and it would also be a machine gun. Now, quickly, let me tell you, my prediction has been my prediction since Joe Biden dropped out, and we're going to find out tomorrow, my prediction is that Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, and I would love that in the sense that it would remove him from that state, because I have a lot of family left in that state. Pritzker will be the nomination. Why? Because he comes with, for a lot of reasons that are very important. Pritzker comes with a lot of money. He is worth $1 billion. His sister Penny, who was the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton and many other people, has $2 billion. They are part of the Hyatt Regency family. Penny Pritzker is also the head of the Satanic Church, where Hillary and Obama and Mike are all members. The head office for the Satanic Church in Illinois is in the Civic Opera building. And I think the suite number is 385. So they're safely nestled. The Satanic Church head office of Illinois is safely nestled in an office building to protect them from being attacked. Because what Christian doesn't want to attack Satan, the Church of Satan? Also, quick side note, since Pritzker has become governor in the state of Illinois, you think the Olympics were bad. He has allowed the Satanic Church to put up a mocking display of Jesus Christ every Christmas, and he says it's because it's their religious right. The Satanic Church does not have a religious right to mock another religion. Although they do it in the state capitol in Springfield every year. You can go to to Springfield, Illinois every year, and you'll see the Christmas tree. And last year, it was Satan in the manger. No, that was 2 years ago. Last year, it was a snake eating baby Jesus, and so on and so on. This is the Pritzker family. Now, you may also know that Pritzker's brother slash sister, transgender sister brother, is the head of the National Guard in Illinois. So, do you want to kill a bunch of people who are under the spell of Satan, or would you rather take part in a revolution where you remove the Satanists themselves? I personally say we dissolve the union. To keep this short, that's all I'm going to say. If you're just joining us, I don't want your money. I'm not going to give you my PayPal. I'm not going to give you my Venmo. I don't want your money. I am here as a patriot. I am not here to sell you silver and gold bars. I'm not here to give you an offer code that will get you a discount on buckets of food. Okay, although they might last 25 years, they don't really taste so super good. I'm not doing a test on them. I did have a viewer, a very loyal, friendly viewer. I've been to his house. As a matter of fact, I am so close with my core audience that I spent 2 birthdays at this viewer's house. I drove to this viewer's house. I left the safety of Kentucky to drive to this viewer's house just to have a birthday party twice. And he did buy 6 buckets of the 25-year food, and he had a problem making the pudding. I'm not saying buy it. I'm not saying don't buy it. You better have something to cover your ass because shit's going to get bad as far as food goes. Let me give you a little bit more information on me. I was approached by General 4-star, 3-star Lieutenant General McInerney, who is very famous. He's the one who intercepted the Pelosi laptops. He's the one that was handed the Pelosi laptops after January 6th. He's also one that intercepted all of the emails that were destroyed by Hillary Clinton. And they lied to me at the time when I met him, but Lieutenant General McInerney was also working with MI5, MI6 spy, friendly spy, registered spy, Dr. John Coleman. It also comes to be that my phone number is exactly the same phone number that before the year 2000, this particular 3-letter agency used my phone number and only changed the area code. And that was before the area codes exploded when, you lived in New York and there was only 201 and then there's like 15 different area codes and you drive 3 miles and there's a new area code for a phone. So before they exploded with the area codes at the time in 1999, if you dialed my phone number with any area code, you would get a 3-letter agency. Because of this, I've been able to join a group of people who are employed by the government, but think they are the government and talk about really bad things, which allows me to know certain things because I had to register my phone number to get into the group. And they're like, oh, that's one of us. Look at the phone number. That's us. So I'm in the group. An important point. Before I slide by it, let me try and remember what I was just going to say. Let's see, Dr. John Coleman, McInerney. So they approached me one day, and I got a 1-day class, 1.5 hour class on how to communicate and how to discern what a spy is telling me. And I'm going to share that with you because you can use this on YouTube. When a spy tells you information, they're only telling you information for 2 reasons. They're telling you information because they want you to react a certain way, or they just plain out straight want to tell you the truth. If the spy tells you who, what, where, why, and what color underwear they were wearing at the time, the spy is just trying to give you true information. In fact, right now, I am telling you who, what, where, and why, and what color underwear I'm wearing. I've just disclosed a shitload of information to you as to who I am. how I ended up in front of you right now is 100% a white hat operation, okay? Many people are scared to shit of me and think I'm a bad guy. Actually, I'm probably the most powerful good guy that nobody listens to. I have had, when this channel comes down, and it will, because this is a kamikaze mission, all YouTube channels have zero market value. To me, they are kamikaze airplanes, and I am the pilot. It is my job. The quicker and faster I crash this channel, the better job I did as a kamikaze pilot. The more truth I told, the faster this channel comes down. It is my job as a patriot to take my own channel down. That's 3 strikes. I already got 1. I've been here for a month. Again, I'm not here at the first day. YouTube wanted me to monetize this channel. I've never monetized an Intel channel. Ever. I do have a different life in a different capacity that has a level of a small level of fame to it here on YouTube, and someday I may introduce you to that. But here, we are here not to send me money because you like what I'm saying. We are here to fight a battle and save our country. That's all we're here to do. Okay? I am a patriot's patriot. I don't want your money. You show me, first of all, once you monetize a channel, you're not a patriot anymore. You've kind of sold out to the bad guy. You've kind of taken, you're taking money from the bad guy. Okay? And I'm not saying you're bad people. You're just compromised. If I monetize this channel, I'm compromised. If I start selling you guys ads for silver and gold or buckets of food, I'm compromised. I now have to lie to you to get money. As long as I don't stay monetized, I don't have to lie. So God's truth is that you should shame any YouTuber who uses the word civil war. And nicely tell them a revolution. Civil war is when civilians kill civilians. Revolutionary war is when civilians kill tyrannical, treasonous, traitor politicians who have violated their oath to the Constitution and the people of the United States. Those are the people who are instigating the Civil War. You know how many people you got to kill to end a civil war if you go after civilians? Hundreds of thousands. You know how many treasonous traitor politicians that have violated their oath you got to kill to end a revolution and win it? Probably about 12. Because you know what? Once the first 12 treasonous traitor politicians who have violated their oath to the Constitution and betrayed you yourself see that 12 of them went down, they shut the fuck up really fucking fast. Really fast. They decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to see my child pulled to pieces in the streets? Or do I want to keep my fucking mouth shut? That's a revolution. Now, I say we dissolve the union. And we let the states that don't want to be a part of the America go. It's a bad relationship. Our girlfriend, our boyfriend, our spouse has cheated on us. What do you do in that situation? The quicker you get the fuck away, the better. That is mine. Now, I'm not saying I know none of you are going for that. Nobody likes my idea of dissolving the union, and that's okay. It's just my idea. It's my personal idea. There's two sides to me. There's the truth that I am bound to deliver, and then there's my opinion on the truth. And my opinion on the truth doesn't mean shit. The only thing that matters that comes out of my mouth is what the truth is. Okay? My personal opinion doesn't mean squat. How we fix it, I'm not the guy. But if you want to know the truth about what's happening, I'm the guy. All right, let's take a look at the comments. And again, if you're looking at this screenshot, this is a t-shirt that is available unless they took it off of Teespring. The link is in the description, but I don't think it's clickable because I did not give YouTube a copy of my driver's license, which is required. So I will post it in the comments, but I cannot pin comments because I didn't give my driver's license. So you'll have to scroll down through the comments if you want to go look at the t-shirt shop. I don't need t-shirt money. I make these t-shirts to make points on the street, to plant seeds in the infected Democrats' heads. That's it. We're not going to change anybody's mind on YouTube. That's 100% for sure. You're here because what you saw out in the real world. Every damn one of you is here because what you experienced outside your front door. Nobody's here because of what they saw on YouTube. Okay, Flanders says, look, let me move this aside, Mr. Flanders. Look at what's happening in England. Exactly my point. They took their guns away and they replaced them with working class migrants. Fight, fight, fight. Not only that, stabbings in England. See, in every other country in America, I had a cousin killed in, he was murdered in Thailand. And you could get guns into Thailand, but they're illegal. So all the murders in these countries where they don't allow guns, it's by stabbing, which is what happened in England. Stabbings in the United States are up 4,000% since Biden came into office, because that's all these crazy motherfucker illegal aliens, pardon my French. I'm sorry if you're at work right now listening. I apologize to your boss right now. That was inappropriate. That's all these crazy people are able to get their hands on. Now, they're starting to get some guns, so it's going to be a problem. But it's going to be a slow rise for them to get the guns, of course, unless you live in a blue state like Illinois, where I think Governor Pritzker hands them to you. So if you're joining this late, I'm going to ask you to go back and watch the beginning of it. Let's see. England is the death throes. In its death throes. And God bless those people. And we'll pray for them at the end. Escaped People's Republic of Illinois 35 years ago. Oh, you are a recovering Illinoisan also, Ratty. Me too. God bless us. I didn't get far enough away. I could still throw a stick there. Harris is unqualified, undignified, and inept. I agree 100%. And she's a puppet. And I just made those, if you guys saw the community tab with the bright yellow backgrounds with the puppets, I just made those a few minutes ago, and I was inspired since Friday to come on and talk to you guys about Civil War, about a revolution. And you have to understand, like, who is it? Veteran biker would not stop using the phrase Civil War, like, over and over again. He's got a big channel. And I had to pull him aside and teach him how to rethink what he's saying. And he did. He also kept something else that I think is dangerous in some of these YouTube channels is everything's a victory. Oh, Kamala is shamed by the right. Oh, they're shaking in their boots. They are not shaking. The Democrats are not shaking in their boots. They are not scared. They're not worried. They know they got a problem, but it doesn't matter, because if they can't solve their own problem, they just hit the red button and fuck everybody. That's how they fix it. How do they fix the problem that they know they can't win the next election? They open the borders. That's hitting the red button. They're not scared. All they have to do is turn chaos to keep what they have. Now, in the event that there is no election, which is my prediction, because that if you can't kill Donald Trump, you have to stop the election. This is my prediction. There is either going to be a civil war on November 6th, if they cheat again, so blatantly like they did before. And everybody's like, oh, they lost all those cases in court. Not one court case was heard. Every single judge denied to hear the court cases on the election fraud. So there were no cases heard. There was no wins. The judges refused to hear the case. That's not a win. So on November 6th, if we wake up in the morning and Kamala Harris is president, and if she's legally president, suck it up, Buttercup. But if there's election fraud, and we know there will be, like if one illegal immigrant votes, there's election fraud, all hell will break loose, and there should be a revolution, never a civil war. Or if some politician has the guts to stand up and say out loud there won't be an election because of A, B, or C, that politician, in my opinion, will probably be eliminated by a patriot immediately. See, here's the thing. Once the first patriot takes down, God forbid, one of these treasonous traitor politicians who have violated their oath to the Constitution openly in front of everybody without question, you don't even need evidence, everyone knows they did, say that day comes and the first politician, treasonous traitor politician that violated their oath, hits the ground, then the repeat offender, it's gonna be dominoes. So, I mean, for instance, if we woke up Sunday morning and Donald Trump was dead, I guarantee a patriot would have taken out Maxine Waters by noon on Sunday. I guarantee it, because she called for his death. She called for the murder of Donald Trump. So someone would probably say, hey, this is enough. The Second Amendment is only there for a revolution. The only reason we have the right to bear arms is for a revolution. Again, I say we just dissolve the Union. Let me back up here. The queen of making all things insignificant, significant again. Amen. And then Patty is praying for the United States. Good morning, be a blessing. And James Gross says the USNC, the U.S. Incorporated was bankrupt in 2020. Also, you guys got to bear with me. Feel free to type in all caps. It's not yelling here. I am kind of blind. So I'm pretty much blind. I don't want your money, and I'm here as a patriot, and I'm here on behalf of the White Hats. And the reason you're sitting in front of me right now, and you don't know why, is because of very powerful White Hats. All right, let's end this in prayer. Dear God, thank you for bringing us together today. Thank you for everything you've given us and everything you've taken away from us, Lord. Many of my core and now new audience are suffering from very bad diseases and very bad medical problems. I beg you, Lord, to heal those people, to give them strength, to give their family strength, to help them, to give their family strength to be strong in these tough times, and to keep those patriots with us so they are here to see your glory, Lord. So they are here to see the winning back of America. May we only do what you wish us to do, Lord, and keep us all from doing things that are not of your blessing. Dear God, keep our family safe, keep our loved ones safe who are blinded by the lies. Help wake them up. And thank you for this beautiful day. Amen. One more thing I'd like to add to that. I can't remember his name right now. It'll hit me in a second. But when the shit hits the fan, I have an island that I get to go to. And I go to that island quite often. And we were on the island talking this weekend. And someone mentioned someone who does predictions. And they pulled up an old video of them predicting the shooting of Donald Trump, specifically between the 13th and the 21st. And they also predicted the awakening of the Democrats, many of the Democrats under the spell, awaken somewhere in the middle of this month. I think he said the 7th through the 20th or something like that, or the 15th through the 20th. There's going to be a huge awakening. So, dear Lord, please allow that awakening to happen quickly. Please, Lord. Because those people, their hearts and their anxiety is in great turmoil, much more than ours is. We know what's going on and why everything's crazy. They don't. So I'm adding that, dear Lord, to this prayer. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank those of you who have asked, how do I donate to your channel? If I let you donate to my channel, then you find out who I am. See, so we're not playing that game. I will have a link to the t-shirt shop if you're interested in looking at those. I do not depend on that money for anything. Those t-shirts are there for you to go out into the real world and wake up and plant seeds. Let's see. Jameson says, I know where I stand. Amen. Thank you. Amen, Patty. Ray Stewart says, who is going to take control of the military assets? That's way over my head. Again, there's two things that I bring you. One is my opinion, which is worth the same amount as your opinion. And the other one are facts. And I try to bring those to you. And some of the things I bring you are things that probably a third of the stuff I bring you is shit that we need to leave on the back burner. But that's my old saying. If it doesn't fit in the puzzle now, let's put it on the back burner and see if it boils. And if it doesn't boil, that's fine. But we got to look at every single piece of the puzzle to see if anything fits. Okay, so I'm not going to try and give you the answers to the puzzle, but I'm going to try and find as many puzzle pieces as I can and show them to you. You guys are just as smart as me. Half of you are smarter than me. On average, I'm probably somewhere in the middle or the lower middle. I don't know. I'm actually, I do remote viewing as a hobby, and I remote viewed the other day. And I remote viewed a cow in a very green field. And when you remote view, they give you a number. The number is written on a photograph. And you have to figure out what the photograph is based on a random number. And the random number being 6345-2124. That's all I know. So I guessed this is a cow in a very green, deep pasture. The photograph was a llama standing in a deep pasture with mountains in the background. So I'm a pretty damn good remote viewer. I am definitely psychic. I definitely do enjoy out-of-body experiences. For those of you who may want to partake in that, I may show you guys how. I may do that on another channel. I don't want to mix that up here because the people who don't like that or think it's satanic. I've been having out-of-body experiences since I was 3 years old, 4 years old. I remember them very distinctly. So I can't say it's evil because I love Jesus Christ with all of my heart and I serve him and I can't wait to meet him someday. So I don't think I'm evil. I hope I'm not evil, but I believe it's just like this is the first time as an adult. This is how the first time I was able to verbalize what my out-of-body experience was. I'll give it to you right now. Anybody can do it. Anyone can do it. Some quicker than others, but anyone can do it. It's like having a tail, like a cat, your whole life, but you didn't know it. And then one day you feel the electronic pulse in your brain go down your spine to your tail, and then you wag it. And then you remember the trail that electronic spark took to get to your tail. And then you're like, oh my God, I can do this, and I know how to do this again now. So, and the other thing I'm going to warn you, just because I opened my big fat mouth about it, is if you have an out-of-body experience and you start to notice that there's a lot of nasty spirits around you, being out of body to move into a different area, it's like a radio dial in the 1950s, okay? So, like a car radio where you turn the dial. So when you first have out-of-body experience, it's going to be at a low vibration. The whole thing is about vibration. The best way I describe it is a freight train, really far away, and it gets closer and closer and louder and louder. And when it hits your head, not figuratively hits your head, gets real right in your face. Uh, it's a vibrational sound. So when you're in a low vibration, you're going to experience more nasty spirits. So all you got to do, here's where you're going to find the low spirits. Oh, and you want to get out of that, you go and the higher you go in the vibration registry, the more harmonious and heavenly of a place you get to. So when you have your first out-of-body experience, for instance, the one that I had one time, when I came out of my body, I saw a short man with a long beard and long hair standing in the corner of the room. And things sometimes have a blue haze when you leave your body. So my landlord happened to be, at the time, a World War II, I suspected a Nazi. He's actually the man who brought war dogs to America. He was very famous on a lot of TV shows. And I lived on the property where all these dogs were living. Hundreds of German Shepherds and Doberman Pinschers. And so I had this out-of-body experience, and I went to my landlord, because the guy looked like my landlord. I went to my landlord, and I said, hey, you told me about your brother. Did he have a real long beard and real long hair, and he was short and kind of chubby? He goes, yeah. Why? I go, because he was in my room last night. I didn't tell him I had an out-of-body. I just said, your brother was in my bedroom last night. And he goes, yeah, that was my brother. So I encourage anybody who wants to remote view to start remote viewing. It's very powerful. You don't go to sleep. You don't lay down. There are a lot of classes online that teach how to do it. And the more powerful we become, the more able we are to overcome. So last comment is going to go to you're real and it scares them. Amen. Bigfoot Ridge. Bigfoot Ridge. Here's what got me into disliking three-letter agencies. I know that Bigfoot is real. When I was a little kid, I saw one driving in the car. I never said anything about it. You don't have to believe in Bigfoot for this story. But I've listened to every single Sasquatch Chronicles there is, and that is a guy who just lets people get it off their chest when they have one of these encounters and they got nobody to talk to. And every time the government gets involved, there are two very specific men that show up at your door. They've been the same guys for 20 years. And my problem with these two three-letter agency guys is they threaten the people who have these encounters. It's always the same two guys. It's a skinny guy, well-cut, shaved, and he shows up in a tie and a shirt, and the other guy's dressed like a cowboy. Well, I've been after these two particular men. I've actually tried to bait them to my house because once you threaten a U.S. citizen with a badge, you automatically forfeit your badge, and you become an enemy of the United States. And when you know that's the law, then you can legally partake in combating that. I know so much about this son of a bitch. I know who his father was. I know he grew up in the state of Montana. I know everything about this bastard. And so my love of Bigfoot is Bigfoot itself, but more, I'm the underdog guy. I always fight for, whose team am I on? The underdog. The guy who's getting screwed over. The guy who's getting threatened by three-letter agencies because they saw somebody get ripped to shreds by some feral man out in the woods. You could tell your story about seeing Bigfoot, but you can't tell your story about Bigfoot killing people. That's the rule. So I've been hunting this guy for like about 7 years, and maybe a little bit longer. And that's really what that's really the core of how I ended up. Besides the fact I was approached by Dr. John Coleman. There's only one video of Dr. John Coleman, and besides how to discern a spy and how to understand what a spy is telling me, Everything Dr. John Coleman said to me, he said in the only existing video of him, which was in 1995. And that video is only deep inside my Rumble channel, Red Step Stack, on Rumble. The Spy Who Told Me Everything, I think, is the name of the video. I broke it into 2 parts. I actually was going to show it on this channel, but I don't think more than a third of you would watch it. Dr. John Coleman he gives too much information. He was MI5, MI6. In the video, he says he knows about a conversation between Hillary Clinton and the Queen's handler, which was her best friend. But he told me he was at that meeting at the Four Seasons Hotel in New York with Hillary Clinton when the Queen's handler said, if you go back to your husband who has been cheating on you, your husband will be the president of the United States, and then you will be president of the United States. So Hillary Clinton was promised the presidency in 1995. I believe it was 95. About a year after that video was made. Dr. John Coleman couldn't say everything in first person that he said in public, but he told me what was in first person and what was not. Dr. John Coleman, The Spy Who Told Me Everything, available only on YouTube because my last channel came down off of here where it was sitting safely for a couple years. So peace and love worldwide. Live your life before your life lives you. I am going to scroll through and randomly grab the last comment of the day, and we stop on Q Cat. Q the cat. Deplorable maggot, Trump tard, quad, and now a weird cat. I don't know what that means. God bless America. Y'all have a beautiful day.